So, what are we gonna do tonight, O.C.G?
Why, same thing we try to do every night, Belgium. Take over the world. I mean, Twitch. Take over Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant / fucktotem Bertram. And this is my review for Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. Or, as I like to call it, that time someone at Ubisoft thought it was a good idea to put eyeliner on the Prince of Persia and make him listen to Marilyn Manson until his ears bleed. It's a rather long title, I admit, but completely appropriate. This is not the dashing, oafish, lovable prince you may remember from the sands of time. This is a darker, edgier, grungier prince. The kind of guy who will screw your brains out while My Chemical Romance blares in the background. And then, once you are finished with your business, he will then take you to a graveyard to sacrifice you to Satan in the name of rock and roll. Now, my friends, Warrior Within was originally released in 2004 for the PlayStation 2. But, unless you are blind, you will have no doubt noticed that this review is for the PlayStation 3 version, which released as part of a trilogy pack featuring this, The Sands of Time, and The Two Thrones. 3 princes for the price of 1. Or, as I affectionately like to call it, haggling in a brothel. Listen to that joke a few more times. I'm sure you'll get it. It is very funny. So, let's start with the single most important thing about this game. It stars the irresistible Monica Bellucci as Kaelida. And there's only one thing you need to know about Monica Bellucci. She's naked in every movie she's in, and yet she's not considered a whore. Isn't that remarkable? Yes. Now, for the uninitiated among you, Warrior Within finds our intrepid Prince of Persia trying to outrun or change his fate by defeating the Empress of Time, and thus prevent the Sands of Time ever being released. Confused? Then I suggest you go and play The Sands of Time, or wait for the upcoming remake of The Sands of Time, or watch the movie of, that's right, you guessed it, The Sands of Time. Now, on to the actual reviewing part of this review. Graphically, this isn't the best, but let's not forget that this is a 16-year-old game by this point. Well, what about the soundtrack? Well, the soundtrack sounds like I am standing in some kind of pit. A mosh pit, I believe it's called. Yes, that sounds like just a thing. So I'm standing there in this mosh pit while a group of makeup-wearing, Satan-worshipping freaks jump up and down, spewing profanities and vomiting in my general direction. Now, there is a much greater emphasis this time on combat, which is a shame because, as this was originally a PlayStation 2 game, it means the combat is clunkier than Oscar Pistorius' Defense. And it means it's harder than Homer Simpson and an all-you-can-eat buffet. The platforming itself doesn't fare much better. I often found myself more frustrated than a virgin at a strip club. And don't even ask me about the appalling checkpoint system. Well, since you didn't ask, the checkpoint system is about as helpful as Stevie Wonder at an identity parade. Now, I personally love the Prince of Persia franchise, but I think Warrior Within is the single one bad egg among the bunch. Or, if you rather, it's like a deformed, bestial, psychotic offspring. And what do we do with deformed, bestial, psychotic offspring? That's right! We put a mask on them and make them live in the basement. So, take my advice and banish Warrior Within to the basement right this very second. It may never find love. It may begin to chew on its own arm. But at least you will be spared from the frustration of playing it. I jest. All I'm really saying is, if I had the choice between playing any of the other Prince of Persia games or this one, I would choose Sands of Time or Two Thrones, or perhaps the reboots for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Or perhaps the Forgotten Sands. Oh, then of course there's the original game. And the original game on the Mega Drive, the Master System, the Super Nintendo. Oh yes, and there was Prince of Persia Classic on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 as well. But regardless, Warrior Within is still a very good experience. Albeit a kind of frustrating one. Therefore, I am going to give Prince of Persia, the Warrior Within, a 7 out of 10. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My review for Prince of Persia, the Warrior Within. If you've enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. Don't forget to hit that little like, subscribe button thingy. Share the video where you can. Perhaps check out my Twitch channel. I hear it is very amusing. But remember the single most important thing that I tell you on all of my videos. That is to stay obsessed.
The amulet.
With gaming. Yeah.
Relic of the sands of time. Can it be? I have changed my fate.